Ask them, what made you to talk like this? Based on that, you will have your language. I am going to freeze, rather I change the behavior that I'm going to perform well. We have our own choice to take a decision, but kids not. You should obey me, right? You have to listen to us. And somehow the kids are helpless. I didn't see that, she's talking. So if she wants, she will talk. You have already told in front of the public that she is very good child. So if she will be comfortable only with her set of people, very good with the cricket, let him go for football. Can you imagine, do we get the Sachin Tendulkar in that? No. We are not in their era. They are entirely different world now.
It will be a cloud nine.
Exactly. Because it's a fast-paced life where it was not the system what the grandparents had or we had.
Her emotion, her face, droops down completely. Then I feel, no, she is a good, she will talk, she need time.
That was a different generation, entirely different generation. Rather than being judgmental, go to that statement.
Yeah, I'm feeling happy if I get a choice.
Parenting is the easiest thing in the world to have an opinion about, but the hardest thing in the world to do. Welcome to the first episode of ParentWise, where you can get guidance and expert advice for parenting issues. So to address such parenting issues today, we have a special guest, Dr. Siji Raveendran. She is a clinical psychologist, NLP trainer, clinical hypnotherapist, and an author. She has also done various workshops and training for teachers, parents, children, and professionals of different fields. Welcome to ParentWise, Dr. Siji, and our parents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like for you to introduce yourselves.
I'm Fathima, working as an academic secretary.
I'm Shahma, mom of two beautiful kids.
Lovely.
Yes, that's amazing. So today we are here to discuss about parental issues and a lot of other things. So our guest, Dr. Siji, she is an NLP trainer. So you must have heard about NLP and things related to that. Right? I'm very curious to know. So Dr. Siji, what is NLP and how it can be affecting our life, or what changes we can make with that?
Perfect. Thank you so much. And NLP is about neuro-linguistic programming. That's a full form of it. I know that you will not connect with that. However, neuro means our thinking, linguistic is the language, and P, programming. Programming is all about your behavior. So now imagine something that you have created in your thoughts, that imagine you are saying that I'm not good at public speaking. So that's the thinking. Based on that, you will have your language. You will keep saying internally, I'm not good enough. I can't speak. I'm going to freeze. So that's your communication. And then based on that, your behavior. And actually when it's a situation, you are going to freeze. So that is all about NLP. So NLP is about reframing your thoughts, your thinking, your communication, and based on that, your behavior. So if I decided that I am not good at public speaking, so I have to change that language internally, the thinking. First, okay, what if I speak? What is the worst thing would happen if I speak? And based on that, my communication, internal talks, that I am going to talk, right? I have to have some good preparation. I have to have some external help or support, and then I'm going to take a decision to get the things done. Based on that, your behavior change. You're not going to frame such a way that I am going to freeze. Rather, I change the behavior that I'm going to perform well.
How this can interconnect with the children? Like how they can, this emotional intelligence
Connect with the children.
Yeah.
Very good question. Because now, mostly what I realize that children, they spend their productive time in the school. Now let's say from 8 a.m. to otherwise 7:30 a.m. to 3 o'clock, and they come home. As soon as they come home, there is another principal, teacher, and vice principal, and they say, okay, I understand the fact that nowadays parents are so curious and energetic to put them into different classes, like tuitions, robotics, artificial intelligence, whatnot. football, cricket, music, dance, I appreciate them. But at the same time, how much time do we give them? So the principal, as soon as come to home, the kids, as soon as they put the bag, the principal will have another rule. Fine, you come home, now I want you to go to washroom, clean, come back, have food, then you have to go for the tuition. These are the timetable to be followed until 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Right? And kids will never have a time and the choice. And one point of time, imagine if we are in that position, do you think that we are going to cope up with all this? One point of time, the kids will be stressed. No way. You know, they are stressed because we are actually what we are working. Otherwise, another way, we have our own choice to take a decision, but kids not. Because we always give them that guilt feeling that we have been working hard, you need to follow me. You should obey me, right? You have to listen to us. And somehow the kids are helpless because they somehow subconsciously connected that say, I am here to obey someone. And eventually what happened, they will not have their own choice. And they just follow what they are doing. And this is a simple example I want to ask you all. Being a parent, imagine, you know Sachin Tendulkar.
Yes.
He is an amazing player, god of cricket we call him. And if his parent decide that at the age of 13, Sachin is very good with his cricket, and if the parent is deciding that, okay, now child is very good with the cricket, let him go for football. Can you imagine, do we get the Sachin Tendulkar in that? No. So there is something called areas of improvement. We can actually, maybe Sachin Tendulkar father would have sent him for, athlete, because that something is important for cricket. Like, both the side he has to run, and he's a very good athletic too. So that's something he might have planned and trained. So there is something areas of improvement. Okay, what is a niche and interest of the child? Now we can helping him to develop that. Yes, we can incorporate something related to that. Now the child is good at music. So now first maybe the child have studied that, something Carnatic or whatever, similar to that. Okay, now the child is good at with Western. Okay, we can even deviate into Hindustan. We can even deviate.
Till they find what they like.
Exactly. And that niche has to be developed, but not that something extremely different and forcing them to do. And here again, emotional intelligence, where in terms of now these are the challenges kids are facing, and they have confusion.
Very much,
And hence they are losing their leadership skill because they are confused. Their brain is confused. They don't know what to be, motivated, what towards I should move. At the same time, where to focus, and we tell them to focus. Now kids have to take a pause and breathe, and give them time to breathe. Give them choices to think, rather than spoon feeding, giving them all the suggestion and always reminding them that we are right, otherwise I am right. So how do they have that emotional intelligence, understanding your emotion, because it is always one way, because parents are always giving them direction. Parents are asking them to think, do this, do that based on what we tell you. You have no right to it. Their voice is always down.
Very true.
Every individual have their own perspective. They see through different eyes. Even you have an younger one, you told me. Do you think that she thinks like you? No.
He's totally opposite.
Totally, because she see through different eyes. She hear from different ears. Definitely she has her own value system. Her thinking pattern is different. So eventually her decision also different. So most of the time when you suppress them, that you are not right, you have to respect them, you should not talk in front of the elders, let them raise their voice. Even if it is elders, even if they're younger to them, respect is something give and take. As long as they respect you, you need to respect.
But I have some doubts here. Like, what if elder maybe our parents, because there is a huge generation gap between them, so they might understand. They are saying like, no, why your daughter is speaking like that? So how they can tackle all these How we can support them, like we have to support our parents also, we have to
There
support
is a
our
conflict happening.
upbringing,
You know?
grandparents
Yeah.
and like maybe teenagers, like maybe 13, 14.
I
and
understand.
So how we can, like, as a parents, like maybe all you all have faced that.
I agree with you. I have to be rude with this answer sometime. Seriously, the reason I want you to imagine when I think we all are into the same area that we brought up, and how exactly it affected when in terms of an external conflict happens, and when there were a lot of judgmental statement, like especially based on our learning system, your appearance, many ways been judgmental, and it triggered us.
Yes.
And now the generation gap, we need to understand the fact that we are not in their era, they are entirely different world now. So now when the kids talk something, so definitely there would be a positive intent behind their behavior. They don't want to create the conflict unless, like, there is a proper reason would be there for their conflict too. So as I mentioned before, if we are able to understand what is the reason behind their discussion or behavior, if you can emotionally intelligent to understand that, I always say that you need to support kids. Parents, they have lived their life, grandparents, they lived their life. So that was a different generation, entirely different generation. Now kids, they have to go for a longer life.
True.
Long years they have to move with a different leadership skill, different perspective, realizing the fact that what they are, how they are, their thinking pattern, everything need to be addressed, acknowledged, because it's a fast-paced life where it was not the system what the grandparents had or we had, because the competition were less. Very few kids were invited for the education. That was the lifestyle of that time. If certain position, if certain people were working, they didn't have that kind of an opportunity where they going for a higher education.
Yes.
Now the thinking pattern changed. Now we work hard only to give them better education. So it's a competitive world. You can't compromise your kids' education to someone else's judgmental. So I want you to take a pause and realize, rather than directly coming to the judgmental state that you are wrong, ask them, what made you to talk like this? If you ask them directly that, why did you talk like this? They are going to give an answer that, I did because of this. Rather, what made you to talk like this? I understand you, but I want to have some kind of empathy because they are grandparents. Right? So they lived in a different generation. Certainly they may not be able to cope up with you. However, take a pause, and we need to improve their empathy to realizing, rather than being judgmental, go to that statement. And ask them, tell them that I understand you, but at the same time, we need to cope up with in a different manner. Probably this is not the way that we need to talk to them. Take a pause and ask them all the questions, then tell them that I understand you, I can help you too, I'll make them understand, but don't talk this way. Yeah, that's the easiest way we can create that emotional intelligence, at the same time helping with this, the generation gap.
I would like to ask, like, when we go someone in a group, my baby is like, she becomes shy. Like, she is not opening up, especially in front of relatives.
Exactly.
And they give a comment, why she is behaving, why you are scared, and she becomes, more down. Her emotion, her face, droops down completely. Then I feel, no, she is a good, she will talk, she needs time, starting trouble, but she's a good talker. So what happens? For that, how should I make her encourage that you are bold enough to face them all? Because they are grown up and she's just a 4-year-old child.
Exactly. What you are doing is right. You have already told in front of the public that she is very good child, she is amazing speaker. However, she needs time. That's something that you need to be more courageously, you need to, in front of the public, you need to talk. Always people are worried and concerned. It's not their concern. Deep inside, it's not the concern. It's always the judgmental statement is there for the public.
Yeah.
So, but don't get into the trap of them. It's your child, right? And that child has her own identity, her values, and definitely you need to respect her, not others. And keep telling in front of the public that if someone is trying to be judgmental, state that I didn't see that, she's talking. So if she wants, she will talk. Right? So if she will be comfortable only with her set of people, if it's required, she will be definitely. And again, sometimes she'll talk to the people if she's given respect.
Yeah, so true. So true. It happens like when she goes in a certain group, she's like so bold, so like leader.
Exactly.
But certain group, she's like behind my.
Exactly.
I get like, why?
No, there would be some reason for that. Because even we think that those young kids, they will not understand. No, they know every single thing when there is a judgmental statement. If someone is trying to bully them or, put them down, that moment they'll straightforward to deny them. So that's a power. And beyond that, if you push them to the public, that same crowd stating that, no, you have to be this, that's kind of discomfort. No. Rather, let her be that position wherever she is now. Let her.
Comfortable.
Yeah, let her be comfortable. But make sure that truth, when you are with that crowd, make sure that you are spending little extra care for your child.
Yeah.
Nowadays, children face a lot of social anxiety. It's like like how they face the maybe in a group or in a public, they feel like no, they are not secure. Like
I understand.
so, how they can tackle all this?
I totally agree with you because most of the kids do face this. One of the major reasons for screen, gadgets, the addiction, because they are very comfortable with this phone and screens, where in terms of in their room, there is no judgmental there, only happiness they find it in the screen. And they are very comfortable in that space. And even if they talk to someone, it is beside the screen. They have the right to talk. Whatever they want to communicate, they can confidently talk. But this is something alarming nowadays. This is very much alarming. The reason kids are losing their confidence.
I have two babies, but I have comparison because both are different. One is a boy, one is girl. So what will affect their mind? When we say Nachi, I'm very curious to know. She is very good listener, and he is he will tell at that moment, come baby, come sit, let's sit. He won't. We say 1,000 times, he won't listen. So that way everybody, oh, he is not a good listener, she's a good listener.
Exactly.
So that way what I am putting in the small, just 1.5-year-old baby,
Correct.
I want to know that thing.
Exactly. No, now one thing I want to tell you is, however, because this whenever there is two children, we need to be very careful because the first one was a superhero at home, everyone were there taking care of. All of a sudden, you have given a responsibility to a big boy because another one came. Now you see that younger one, he is no more the bigger one now, younger one now. So you consider him as a big boy. So that shift, they can't accept. So they see that one is treated so well, other one is not, and you constantly reminding him that you need to take care of her.
Yeah.
She's small, right? Why do
Yes.
she's, she's small. Why do you do that? Give him. So even if he wants toy, imagine he is also a child. He's
That happens.
yeah. So
You are eldest, you need to share your things with the small one.
correct. And she does notorious thing, and we will always fight for him. You could have done this. Why are you making her cry? Why are you annoying him? And many ways you disturb, the child, because and then the child somehow feel that, oh my God, I am not treated well. Okay, and he himself a child. That we forget, and we compare him with that younger one, thinking that he is bigger now. No, he is not. So that's one thing. And second thing, both have to be treated equally. Make sure that even the younger one fight and cry for some toys that what he is using. Probably he comes from school and he want to enjoy his cartoons or remote or something. Then there's younger one come and fight for that. And eventually you need to fight with both. Not fight, I mean to say you need to talk to both. Okay, who took this toy first? Okay, then maybe the elder one say that it was with me. You need to accept and acknowledge that. Tell him that I understand that you wanted to play. Then tell your younger one, I know that she's too young to understand, but still talk to her. Tell that, see, brother wanted to play. He was in the school for whole day. probably she'll cry, let her cry. You need to accept the fact that the same emotion he is also going through.
Yeah,
And
that's
now
a
his
big
emotion,
tackle to do daily basis for
his
me.
emotion is not acknowledged. Rather, only her emotion is acknowledged.
Yeah, so true.
Okay, so then what he will do? He will think that I have to obey them, or he will become a rebel. Now that's what happening. So you keep telling him he's not going to
what I
listen.
like.
Obviously.
Yeah.
The comparison we keep carrying. Like,
We carry, we used to carry, like, no.
Exactly.
so you have to do everything. The burden falls on the first one, like the eldest, like
Correct.
you have to do this, you have to that, you have to behave a certain way. But whereas other siblings, no, they are allowed to do what they want.
Correct.
The eldest, it'll be like an experimental child. Seriously, they're like, oh, you do this, and everything. Then later on, that's okay. This is okay. You can come late. You can do this. You can do that.
Correct. So same thing. Now, how do you expect him to listen to you? Because no one is there to listen to him. Who is there to listen to him? Whatever I do, it's a mistake. Whatever I take, it has to be shared. But no one is there to share with me. No one is there to acknowledge my pain, my sorrow. So now, someone have to fight for me, right? It's me. I'm the only one fight for me. Then I am going to be a rebel. Let them do anything. One point of time, I come to that position. So today, go to him, hug him, kiss him, make him to sit on the lap. She will feel jealous. The younger one, let her feel. So tell him that you are brother.
Yeah, I know sometimes then he's like full angry face and he'll come.
That's so like common, the sibling jealousy when they are small.
Correct.
But I think that is natural for them, right?
Correct. Even if other people say that, oh, she's really good, the other one is not, then you need to tell him that, no, he is really good. Yeah. He takes care of me. He is always there for mommy and papa, and he also take care of her sister. Keep telling that. He always share his toys with her sister. Okay, even if sometime I argue with him, but however, eventually he does. So then it will come as subconsciously, it's not that I have to, rather it's my responsibility that helping my sister. Okay, so you can slowly tackle him to your way. Probably he will be kind of ignorance in the beginning, because he somehow set his mind to be rebel. No, you slowly get him back. You can do that. Kids never learn from outside. It's always from the base, from the school. From home, then from the school. So we need to create that kind of an atmosphere where they can grow and develop. Not that even the home can be toxic too.
Yeah.
So mostly how parenting, if it is not positive parenting, it's always there are set of rules.
Yeah.
Okay, you come from school, where did you keep your bag? Why did you keep your bag here? You should have kept your books this way. You should have studied this. Why did you take green plate rather than blue plate? You should have eaten this way. Why are you sitting this way to eat? You should have sit properly, right? And why are you not eating vegetables? If you don't eat vegetables, these are the things will happen. See, this is perfectly fine. But there is a way of saying, imagine your parents or your husband or someone keep telling you instructions and guidance and rules. Who would love to listen to this? No, nobody. We don't want to listen to this. Correct. We don't want this lecturer class anymore. Then how do we expect the kids to listen all these stories, the lecturer class? Who want that? Rather, you can tell them rather than, just telling that why did you do this? Rather, what are the reasons that you are saying that you should not take the blue plate? There will be some reason, right? You can directly tell them these are the reason I told. However, if you are comfortable, you can take this. Give them choices and options rather than shouting and yelling at them. That never works. Seriously.
So true, it won't work. I did. First one day yelling, I cried. After that, I cried a lot, and my husband was laughing. Why did you shout at first place? You could talk.
Yes.
So that I clicked, like I was in some other stage. I was going through something, and I cried, like crying.
Exactly.
Because I got angry on such a beautiful day. I was like in mood swing.
I know.
Yeah, that's the one thing like women face nowadays, like a lot of
mood swings.
Yeah.
See, normally this mood swing and stress. Okay, so these are the, I mean, when you are in bad mood, normally, who is helpless one? Who is like who never
Who is
reacts?
there at home?
Yeah,
Targeted.
who will never react?
Yes.
Those are kids. Okay. We always shout at them. When whatever your challenges, stress, anxiety, or frustration, you will eventually finish it on them by talking to them, by yelling at them, shouting at them. So imagine their situation too. Who are they? Especially the people who are staying in UAE. In India, we have some alternative option. They can just go out, play with them, some kids, some enjoyment. Here, no, they are in that four wall. No other alternative option, and they only see the face from wake up to until they sleep. And if you are showing them all your negative things to them,
They'll pick up.
I mean, they have no option.
And I think they'll behave the same.
Yeah, so true. So true.
That's a modeling. Like
Yeah.
whatever you show them, whatever you model them, I mean, the same thing they are going to follow you. Eventually, otherwise, where do they learn this? And deep inside, subconsciously, they are going to observe all this. Okay, my mother, if she wants something, this is the way she order. Okay, imagine if the kids comes from school and they are watching some cartoons, their favorite, some music, and you just tell that, why didn't you do your homework? Did you do your homework? Okay, then the child say, Mommy, give me 5 minutes time. And he says, no, I asked you to come. No 5 minutes. And the kids probably, they are helpless, they come to you, they sit. Do you think that they are going to study? No. Probably they take longer time, and your effort also going to be longer. Rather, if you can acknowledge that, okay, they are watching something, they ask for 5 minutes. If you can change that communication into, fine, I'll give you another 10 minutes. Okay? However, after 10 minutes, you are going to do the homework. Then give them choice. And that place, they are going to be relaxed. Fine, my mother listened to me, they gave me a choice, they respect my question. And now, if you can tell them that, fine, are you, next day when they come from school, you can ask them like a win-win, like choices, like, are you going to eat then doing homework? Or are you going to play for some time then doing homework? Imagine how that, when they listen to it, see something.
I'm feeling happy if I get a choice.
Exactly. Imagine that situation of the child. The other, that principal is there at home as soon as they want to. Even if you're principal, they are going to love you for sure. They, from the school, they come to you, run and come with a school bag, thinking that my parents are there for me to help me, love me. But that something is missing. We have expectation. Lot of expectation. We want them to be that super powerful comparing to someone. We always, even if they get 99%, we think that where is that 1% left, where he has to do.
Right.
We, rather than acknowledging and appreciating them, we will only focus on that 1%. So the child will never, we need to celebrate their achievements. We need to celebrating again. Celebrating is not that outcome, that celebration is not about what they have achieved. Rather, celebrate their behavior. Now imagine if the child has given you a juice or some omelette today.
It will be a
Lovely.
cloud nine.
Exactly. Now imagine, rather than considering that as celebrating that omelette, you can say that how responsible you are. I'm so proud that you have done this to me. You are such a caring child. And even if we help his younger one, you can tell that activity, not activity, rather that, that behavior, that action. His caring, taking care, his loving personality, those behavior you can acknowledge. And something else I want to also implement every child, that keep checking their state in the sense. So sometimes they annoy you, they kind of ignore you, they get angry, frustrated. Probably they may not be able to articulate that, what actually they're feeling. Maybe if you can start asking them, what are you feeling now? I understand that you are somewhat irritated today. So what is your emotion now? Are you happy, sad, upset,
I used to
irritated?
do that. Like
Exactly,
with my
that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Because then child, slowly
Yeah.
they will implement and learn that what am I feeling now.
Yeah.
Even we can also,
Yeah, we
because
can
as long
also,
as
yeah.
if you know the state of you, then you have an answer. You both of you said that mood swings.
Yeah.
So if you can check your state, that what is the reason behind my mood swing? Is it something hormonal, that some kind of like women issues or something? Exactly. So what is the root cause of it? Fine, I have an answer to it. Now let me take a treatment for that. Fine, let me go to hospital. Let me relax now. I need a food. Let me do some shopping. Let me go out. Find a solution to it. Same way, we should keep checking and acknowledge the fact that, fine, what is your state now? Are you happy? Are you sad? Why are you upset now? Fine. Yeah, I'm there to help you. I know that it's a bad day for you. And normally when they come from the school from some bad situation and they say that this has happened, my friend bullied me, rather than giving a lecturer class, telling that this is okay, this is very common, we have gone through this, we all can. No. Rather, they don't want to fix it. Rather, just listen to them. Tell them that I understand that you had a bad day, that's sad. Okay, and give them a hug, or shall I give you water, or whatever you can offer. Give them some time. Then later give your lecture at class.
True. As soon as you come, they tell, oh, no, you have to do this. No, you can't be like this. We blame them.
Exactly.
Instead of knowing how they're feeling.
Correct.
Calming them down, we'll attack them.
Imagine you go to your husband and say that, okay, these are the things when your husband is giving you a lecture class, you should have done this. Are you going to listen to him? You don't want them to fix it because you know the solution.
But still, then we will discuss it.
Yeah, but at least if your husband is saying that, I know that you have gone through this, accept the fact that you went through all this pain and give you a hug and say that, okay, I'm there for you. You take a moment, you relax now. Okay, then things change. Then later he comes to you and say that, actually, I understand the fact that, but probably. So that's the only message I want to give you, being a parent, and even I'm a mother. So
It's really amazing, Dr. Shiji. So all this information and so many much more what the parents, Mrs. Fatima and Mrs. Shahma has discussed, and I came to a lot of things, and we all our problems we have discussed. I hope our viewers, if they have something, they also will come to know how they can handle their children.
Correct.
And what can they do to
Correct.
help themselves and the child.
Correct,
Yes.
correct.
And I thank you and our parents panel for being here.
Exactly.
For ParentWise, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And it was very interactive because unless and until you come up with a genuine problem of yours, this wouldn't have such a communication where in terms of have a result. So thank you so much, being as an amazing parent. I wish you all the best too. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Shiji.
Thank you.